Welcome back to Seen It Before, where we're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. I'm Danny.
And I'm Dan, and we are in a different spots. I don't like being over here.
Yeah.
This is weird.
It's weird because I can see myself in your camera.
Yeah, I can see you off to my right a little bit, but I can't really see you. There you are. So, what we're doing right here? We're doing Lightyear? We're doing Lightyear?
We're doing Lightyear, yeah. We just saw Lightyear in theaters, and so we're going to talk about it, and it's going to be an interesting talk because this is Pixar's kind of first not like it's hard to explain. It's the first like in universe or like what do we gonna call this type of movie? It's different.
I'd say it's in current, like, you know how they had the Buzz Lightyear show. It's like in universe, but it's not like the universe for the movie universe. It's the TV universe inside the movie universe. Something like
it's
that.
It's like universe inside of the Pixar universe kind of thing. So. Yeah. But so it's interesting, and maybe we'll talk later on if Woody might get his own movie. So
Woody's Roundup. Give us Woody's Roundup. I'm wearing my Pizza Planet shirt. I'm already here.
Oh yeah, I just noticed you're representing.
Yeah, I'm representing, man. I love Toy Story. But yeah, let's get right into this. That's all I got. Let's just do it. All right, so Lightyear. The first place I want to start is, just the beginning of this movie. Spoilers from here on out. So they crash land on this planet. Well, not really crash land. They just land on this planet thinking it's hospitable for them as a crew.
Yeah, it's very kind of like Alien, the way that they set it up, and they landed on its hostile instead, and then they ended up, so they're like, should we wake up the scientists or whatever? And like, so there's a whole kind of opening exposition scene where they're all, what's her name? Alicia, something like that? Alicia and Buzz and Feather something.
It's Bill Hader. That's all I know. Bill Hader plays him.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the rookie, and they're on the planet, and they find out that there's vines and there's creatures that are trying to attack them, and then so then they ended up what ends up happening? They end up getting stranded on the rocket ends up getting it crashes or whatever, so they're stuck on that planet, right?
Yeah, they're kind of stuck on the planet because this planet is kind of inhospitable because there's all these vines that are kind of territorial in a way, and they're just trying to like protect the planet, I guess. So basically it's inhospitable, and they try to leave. They end up stranded because Buzz is an idiot.
Yeah, well, he thinks he's always right, and so he's kind of like arrogant, and he's like, I need to do this by myself. I'm the only one who can do it. And his character arc, we'll find out, it's pretty obvious. He's going to learn to accept help from people, and not have to do everything on his own. And he's not always right. So,
yeah, basically the turnip, as they call it, crashes, and they end up. Well, I believe it's 4 years later the first time.
Well, that's when they do their first test.
Yes, exactly. It's 4 years later, and then. Or no, it's a year later. That's right.
Yeah, 1 year later they rebuilt.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's
crazy how much they rebuilt in a year.
Yeah, well, it's it's a cartoon, so. But they get like a test going. We're like, okay, we're gonna reach light speed, and we're gonna use it to get back home or whatever, and like we're gonna use that light speed fuel to get to put it on the turnip, and we're gonna go back home. So that's the whole plan. And Buzz is obsessed with it because he blames himself for his mistake of first landing on the planet and then crashing the turnip. So Buzz is obsessed with getting home, and we find out that his first run to get out into light speed is a failure, obviously, or else we wouldn't have a movie. And they do time dilation, where it's like he ages only minutes, and then everyone else ages 4 years. So
Yeah.
it's like a minute a year, I guess, because it was 4 minutes for the run.
Interstellar rules here.
Yeah, so I like that they're including kind of like a high concept sci-fi thing, you know?
Yeah, it's a very well thought out thing, I guess, for a PG movie, for a PG kids movie.
Yeah.
And one thing before we go any further, there's one nice little touch they had at the very beginning. It's like in 1995, Andy got a Buzz Lightyear toy. This is the movie it's based on. It was nice. It was like, I like that.
I like this concept where it's like they're, you know, like they're doing the inside the universe. They're adding to the lore of. Who would have known that Toy Story would have lore, but now we have it. So, you know, it's really interesting. It's an interesting route to go. So
yeah, I mean, it's what kicked Pixar off. Like they try to expand upon it, and they're doing a good job with it so far. Moving on to the real plot of the story. So after Buzz comes back from his first test run, it ends up being 4 years later, and Alicia is, you know, now the general.
She's something. She's a higher rank.
Yeah, she's definitely a higher rank, and they didn't think he was coming back, so he eventually came back. And then that spiraled into him meeting Socks. Yeah. I love Socks. He's fantastic.
Yeah, Socks, I thought he was going to be, based on the trailer, I thought he was going to be really annoying, but I ended up really liking him. So that's something.
And also I looked in the IMDb, and it is Sox, S-O-X. I was like, is that a Chris Evans joke? Because he's a big Boston Red Sox fan.
Oh, you know what? It probably is. It probably is. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's hilarious, though. But yeah, so like, and so I want to kind of mention all the similarities that I kind of caught watching this movie compared to like a bunch of other different franchises that I felt like. He's a man out of time, which is so Captain America, right? Also played by Chris Evans. So I think that might have been a weird nod. There's a little bit of Star Wars in there with the space, the atmosphere, like the kind of the robots, the droids, and then Zurg really gives me Darth Vader vibes.
Yes, there's that. There's the light speed they use. It's like the old Star Wars light speed type of deal. And then also when he crash lands the last time, it looks like it's a little Dagobah-ish with all the fog and everything.
Yeah,
it was really cool. I liked that.
Yeah, it's interesting. And then I also got Terminator a little bit when he's just like, Buzz, come with me, and even a little bit of Superman when like he's like holding up I think they call it the armadillo. That's the spaceship at the end. He's holding it up with his wings, and it's such a Superman thing. So it's just really. I don't know. It's like meta. It's like little tidbits for like us movie fans can catch, but it still tells like a coherent story at the same time. So I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, and then all of Buzz's catchphrases too make it into this movie. Like Buzz Lightyear Star Command, and he's like on his thing.
Yeah, he's on like, his little temp pad
and
thing.
To Infinity and Beyond, and not today, Zurg. Oh my God, that was great. Towards the end,
is blast one of his phrases too, because he says that a lot. Like it's kind of like he's swearing.
Blast.
Blast.
I think he actually did swear at the end there. Did you catch that? Like when he's falling through space, I'm pretty sure he said shit. I was like, I swear I caught that, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe one of our listeners caught it too. I don't know.
They only allow one shit per PG-13 or one F-bomb, right? For PG or for PG-13. So I don't think they have those rules for PG. I don't think they even include them.
I think it's a little more lenient nowadays, but who knows? The first scene that really got me was obviously when Alicia was sending her last final message, and he goes into her office. She isn't there for the last time. Yeah. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then like her granddaughter Izzy is there too as a kid, and then she's like, to infinity. And then
they touch the fingers through the hologram.
Yeah,
and
I turned to you. I was like, that one got me.
Yeah.
That one totally got me, man. Oh God, Pixar does it at least once a movie for me. I swear.
Yeah. But like that's the thing. I don't think this movie was nearly as emotional as any of the other Pixar movies. Sure, that one scene is kind of emotional, but it's nothing like anything like Finding Nemo or Monsters Inc. or anything like that. I didn't feel like emotional watching this movie. It didn't, because it doesn't really say much about the human condition and like life and stuff, you know, like all the other Pixar movies usually do.
Yes, and there's one. Okay, so obviously, I know you hate it when Marvel cuts the tension with jokes and everything.
Yes.
They did that a lot in this movie, I noticed. It wasn't really jokes, but it was just like very abrupt. They cut the tension at that one scene with To Infinity and Beyond. And because what's his face walked in immediately. I was like, oh damn it. That could have been just a little longer. It would have been fine.
Yeah, like lingered on a little bit more.
Oh God, it bothered me.
Yeah, but like, so that guy, what's his name?
His name is, I wrote it down here somewhere. Burnside.
Brisborn. What am I talking about? Burnside. Yeah. I mean, we'll get to the end of the movie, but he's sort of the villain, right? He's sort of like like a secondary villain in the story, where he's not letting Buzz do his thing and save the mission and stuff. And then at the end, there's no repercussions for him, you know. Like there's repercussions for Zurg, which we'll get to the twist later, but there's no, like he's like they're not back on good terms or whatever. Like he's like, okay, well, I'll work for the Star Command thing at the end. So I don't get that too much.
Yeah, I mean it's weird. Maybe there'd be more for him if they do a sequel, which they should not. But knowing them, they probably will do a sequel if this does well.
Well, yeah. I mean, you saw all the kids in the theater.
There were a good amount of kids, which that still is nice, though, that this franchise still keeps new generations coming back. And because it's a great franchise, Toy Story. And I don't know, I just love it. It's timeless.
Yeah, well, it's funny because I remember watching... I was watching the movie, and then I looked kind of down in the audience, and like one little girl was standing up, like when like an exciting part was happening. Like she's on like the railing and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, they stole the fuel, like, or the fuel thing, or broke or whatever." So I'm like, "Oh, she's really invested. That's kind of cool."
I love that. I didn't catch it, but the only thing I caught was that goddamn smoker lady.
Oh yeah,
holy shit, she was coughing up a lung.
There's this old grandma lady who would not stop coughing. It was like. She sounded like a velociraptor, like every fucking second. It was awful.
Oh my god!
But yeah,
like it took me out of the movie. I was like, especially at the end. It was the last 10 minutes of the goddamn movie. I was
it's like,
oh my god! Don't smoke, kids.
Yeah, don't smoke. It annoys people.
Yeah, it
really
smells
bad. It's like, okay, smoking is not only bad for you, it makes you a nuisance to other people. Like you smell like shit all the time, and then you're coughing all the time. So why do it, you know? But anyway, that's my PSA for not to smoke.
Anyway.
But yeah, another thing in the movie theater, though, was the fucking... they must have not cleaned the theater after the first showing or whatever, because there was still, like, there was dirty, like, stuff on the floor. Like there was trays, like little kids trays and stuff. And then I don't know about you, but where I was sitting,
you were right next to me.
Yeah, but like the floor was sticky. It was like slimy with like a slushy or whatever fell on the floor. I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, I know one of the kids that was sitting next to Smoker Lady. They were like, "Oh yeah, watch out, there's a mess there." I was like, "Oh," so I stepped over it. But so I guess maybe you didn't.
Yeah, no. No, it was like just like in front of my feet. It was like my feet were sliding and it was slimy, and then it got sticky at the same time. It was really gross, but you know, and like I, like it's funny because here's the story. I actually was denied a job at this particular movie theater because I had worked at a different rival movie theater, and they said that I didn't meet their standards. So it's just funny that they don't even clean their fucking theaters. So.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
Yeah,
but I mean, we have only recently started going to this one because it's close to the studio.
Yeah,
we usually go to another one that's a lot nicer. Same chain, but it's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Besides the point, let's get off of this topic. Let's get back to the movie here.
I appreciate a clean theater. I'm just saying.
Okay, so when he ends up meeting Izzy. She has this ragtag group of people. So one dude that's like a Suicide Squad member, he is getting shaved time off his sentence for participating in whatever the hell he's doing here. And then
that was a guy? I thought it was a girl. Or I thought it was like an old woman.
Maybe it was
an old badass woman.
I couldn't tell.
I mean, well, okay, so everyone, we should probably acknowledge the controversy with this movie with the gay kiss, right? There's a gay couple in it. They kiss.
Yeah.
People are mad about it. I think get over it. They're either there or they're not. So this might be the first transgender, non-binary character in a Pixar movie. So
well, they haven't acknowledged it, but for the most part, I think Chris Evans definitely went at the premiere of this movie, said like about the kiss or whatever. He's like, yeah, no, who cares? It's a movie. Like,
it's a movie.
It's whatever. Speaking of Chris Evans, I think he did a very good job as Buzz Lightyear, like filling in for Tim Allen. Like very similar. Like he nailed the voice.
Yeah, I think he like I could definitely tell it's Chris Evans because he has such a recognizable voice, but I don't. It's he did it in a way where like I'm not comparing him to Tim Allen. Like maybe Tim Allen isn't like as iconic or as like untouchable as Buzz Lightyear. I mean, they already replaced him, but I don't know. They just feel. I mean, so Chris Evans' Buzz Lightyear definitely feels like the more real version, like the real person version. And then I get Tim Allen's version is like the toy version. And like, that's fine. That's like, they're two, I view them as two separate characters, where they're not exactly the same thing. Like, Tim Allen's is technically based on Chris Evans, but
No, I like that they did that. Like, they definitely made him seem more real, have more realistic reactions and feelings, unlike a toy. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my best Woody impression. Whoa, what's going on with this light? It's like flickering.
Is it breaking?
Oh, it
went out.
Oh, no. In the dark. Let there be light. I'm back. Okay. So a little technical difficulties there. But we were talking about Tim Allen and Chris Evans and how they were similar and everything. And how the real life version is Chris Evans, and he really pulled that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay,
I don't know what's next.
We'll move on from that. So, the basic other plot of this with the team is working as a team. Buzz doesn't like working as a team. He's reckless and he wants everything to be on him. If it's his fault, he messes up, it's his fault. He doesn't want it to be on anybody else, and he doesn't like rookies. Izzy is a rookie, and so is everyone else.
He doesn't like rookies or autopilots. And, what was it called? Ivan,
which is backwards, is Navi, like navigation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I found that one on IMDb. I was like, that's kind of good. I like that.
So, yeah, Buzz is very self-centered, I guess, and his arc is all about having to be like, because he's very single-minded in this movie. He's like, mission first, we have to fix what I broke, and it's my fault, and nobody else can help me, blah, blah, blah. It's very much main character syndrome that he has, and like, I don't know. It's like, it's a kid's movie, so like, I'm not trying to criticize it too much, but it's just like, I've seen it before.
He said the title. All right.
I said the title of the podcast. It's behind me. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So they have to learn to work together. They go to this mining place to get actually before that, they escape, this one Zerg droid thing that's coming after them.
Yeah.
They learn to work together as a team a little bit, but they mess it up. They're just doing terrible at trying to stop this one droid. Eventually they do. And their ship was blasted apart at that point. So they need to find another way to
there's a lot of like last minute obstacles adding to the tension, and like it's good. I just like maybe just my investment in this movie. I wasn't like dying to see it, so it's just, and I was kind of like waiting for it to end. So like every time a new obstacle came up, it was just like, oh come on, why something else? There's always like I remember like they blow up the big ship towards the end, and then then of course the villain isn't actually dead, and he's attacking them in midair, and like, we need to pull the hatch, but the hatch is stuck, and then it's the what I mean. But like, it's nothing against the movie. I think it was just the way I was feeling about watching this movie at the time. So I won't really hold it against it.
It's a fair point. But they end up going to this base that's like 4 kilometers away or something like that. They get, which is infested by these like spider-like creatures. So of course but also it's in the ranger station. So there's the ranger uniforms. See where you're going.
Yeah,
they all wear it, and it's cool. It's cool to see. You get to see some of the features of the suit, also the invisibility, which they teased earlier in the movie.
Yeah, I like that. Where that was like an interesting concept. It's weird that like it only lasts like
a minute, maybe
like a minute.
something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
I mean, that's like a major handicap. So, whatever.
Yeah. So they get out of that. They go to this mine to try, or no, they don't go to the mine. They don't want to go to the mine. They get attacked by Zurg in midair. So Zurg shoots them down into the dark side of the planet. They find this mine that's nearby that has a fuel cell basically to repair the ship.
Right. It's so we need to get the MacGuffin to fix the thing and get the plot going, and it's very much a basic kind of storytelling 101. It's just basically just kind of an obstacle course until we get to the
mine.
To the mine, yeah.
So yeah, they get trapped. Zurg interrupts that battle and starts chasing them. But then, like, the others get left behind, and he's not going after them. He's going after Buzz. So Buzz leads him away, and I love this one shot where he's coming up, like, the mining elevator thing, and you see Zurg. It reminds me a lot of Toy Story 2 when he's on the airplane hangar or whatever. Like, Zurg came up the whatever the hell it's called, the belt.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was very similar to that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I was thinking more like it was like Inception, where like Cobb is running through the streets, and then he gets kind of stuck in that narrow walkway, and he has to kind of like push himself through, and like Buzz does that too. So this is another thing that this might be inspired by. Like, this movie takes a lot from the pop culture bucket, and it's like in subtle and good ways, where it's like it's very intriguing to like, they chose Inception as an inspiration for a Buzz Lightyear movie.
I mean, I don't think that was directly the point. I think it may be more of actually Toy Story movies themselves, because like I immediately thought Toy Story 2 when they're on the plane and Zurg's coming up that belt.
Yeah, up the belt. But I'm saying when he's like in the narrow when, like, the door's closing on him and he has to like kind of like, maybe it might be Indiana Jones or something like that, but like I just got a vibe that like it was inspired by something. But yeah, Zurg's ship definitely reminded me of the what's it called, like in Toy Story 2, like the opening where like it's like where he's playing the video, or Rex is playing the video game. The design of like the corridors and stuff like was like exactly kind of like how I forget how much it was like it, but because actually I haven't seen Toy Story in like it has to be like 10, 12 years or so. But
how dare you?
Yeah. Okay, I'm a fan of Toy Story 1 and 3. I used to own 2.
That's fair. That is fair.
2 is fine, and then 4 I didn't really see. Like I watched it like in the background, so it's not like definitely on my radar or anything,
Yeah, no big deal. But yeah, they end up in a chase scene with the Zurg bots and their ship, and Buzz ends up getting captured by Zurg, and then we get this whole.
Well, that's after their fuel cell breaks or whatever, or something like that, or. What happens? The thing that they need breaks. I forget.
Fuel cell. Oh, yes. The fuel. Oh, yeah. The fuel cell. It kind of breaks, and they have to hover. So they start hovering, and then they go over these. Yeah, through all these like different places. Basically,
they have like a chase scene where they're hovering, and they go over like the volcano flame thing.
Yeah, and it was weird. But anyway, we get a lowest moment where he's just like the thing's broken and we can't continue on, and Buzz is just defeated, and he's like, we lost our last chance, that was the only thing to get the mission going, and then
Izzy's just like saying, hey, it's not the end of the mission. We can still do blah, blah, blah. And, you shouldn't be so down on yourself and the character arc and shit. So
it's pretty accurate. Yes. So Zurg ends up capturing him at that point, brings him back to the ship, and it is revealed that it's another version of himself, an older version of himself.
Yeah, which is very much like Star Trek to me, where like Kirk would see like a version of himself, or I think it might have been Spock. Yeah, Spock sees a version of himself from the future. Like it's such a sci-fi thing, and like I'm glad because like this is like a sci-fi Pixar movie. So it's other than WALL-E, this is kind of like the first one that they're really doing, like straight up sci-fi.
Yeah, and basically when he went through one of the trial runs, he ended up splitting in two somehow. How did that work? Because I'm very confused.
I don't know.
Yeah,
they don't explain that. I just know that like when they're going to light speed, two different buzzes happen. One travels to one travels to 22 years later, which is our buzz, and then the other buzz makes it back in 4 minutes or whatever. And then almost gets captured, and then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to go way into the future. And then he figures out how to backwards time travel from there. It's very, it's very rushed and like very fast explanation. It's just a kid's movie. What are they going to do,
Definitely. And so then older Buzz is actually played by James Brolin, Josh Brolin's father. So that's... Oh. Yes, that's his father. So that's it's really funny, actually. Man, what is up with the Brolins? And why does he sound like Adam West?
He does sound like Adam West. He sounds
so much like Adam West. I'm like, did they do that thing they did with James Earl Jones in his voice for Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Yeah, no, for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, they didn't actually use James Earl Jones in that.
They didn't?
No. They used the CGI, or whatever the hell it is, that voice thing they did for Luke.
The voice enhancer
For Luke, they did for Book of Boba Fett. They had this AI type of thing that they used to change their voice or make it sound more realistic.
That's cool. Yeah, okay. I was kind of wondering. Cool. I was wondering that because I remember in Rogue One, that's like the last performance that James Earl Jones actually did, I guess, where he played Darth Vader, and like everyone's just kind of like, he sounds kind of old and cranky, and like now in Obi-Wan he sounds like OG Vader. So
yeah, and they did a good job with that AI, whatever they end up doing with it, because they did it for Luke as well. And I wonder who else they're going to do it with, because it's pretty solid.
But so it's funny because Captain America can't escape Thanos. He's fighting Thanos' dad now.
It's funny.
It's funny because he even said like when like old Buzz reveals himself, he's just our Buzz is like saying like Dad. It's like, think again, it's me, Buzz. I figured it was, because it would be weird if they had Buzz's dad like be included without like setting him up beforehand. So I figured it was Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. I don't know if we've mentioned. Well, we have mentioned Izzy like being Alicia's granddaughter and everything. Yeah. She's terrified of space. She doesn't like space.
I like that they took the time to include an arc for her too.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not just a Buzz show.
Yeah, true. And so she faced her fears. It's not just about teamwork. It's also about facing your fears and overcoming obstacles. Typical movie. But they do a good job of kind of making it work within the bounds of Toy Story and the story itself.
Yeah, so. It's like, it's a generic, it's really hard. It's a generic, just like adventure movie, but using with the character that we know and love, it makes it a little bit elevated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard because I like this movie a little more than I would like just if it was just like a regular, like that movie we saw a trailer for. I think it's like Paws of Fury, The Rise of Kevin, or some shit like that, where like it's like this Nickelodeon animated movie that's coming out, and it looks just like Kung Fu Panda.
Yes, I do remember this. Yeah,
you know what I mean, but like not established. It just looks like with Michael Cera and Samuel Jackson. It doesn't look good. I'm not going to go see it. I don't think kids are going to see it either. But it's like that kind of thing where it's like the story the story it could have been generic, but now with Buzz Lightyear and Zurg and like characters that we know and love, it makes it a little better.
You took a roundabout way.
Long-winded way of saying
we got there.
Yeah. I also want to mention. Sorry to cut you off. I wanted to mention the animation. How well this is animated. It's one of the best animated movies I think I've ever seen.
It looks stunning. Like, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the artwork is just fucking crazy, man. Like the shadow, like I saw like for once, like instead, you know how like they give like the big credits to like the mid credit people or you know what I mean? Or like
I know what you mean.
They're including like the lighting guy and like the shading animator and like all the visual effects guys are front and center in the mid credits before they're brought up in the end credits.
Yeah,
and I thought that was like a nice touch because it's like they contributed.
They deserve it. Like, holy crap, man.
Yeah,
like,
they did a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the movie. So basically, older Buzz's plan is to take the whole thing, the crystal, I guess. Let's just call it the crystal.
Yeah.
The crystal from younger Buzz and still go back in time to make sure Izzy can be a space ranger again before they even took this mission. So it doesn't happen.
Yeah. And I kind of have a plot hole here. Why does going back in time erase them? Because wouldn't it erase old Buzz? Because how are there two Buzzes?
It would erase old Buzz, but then he wouldn't have to go through this timeline, basically.
He's just like, I want to commit suicide.
He wants to end this timeline. He wants to make sure he gets to do what he's doing and make sure Alicia is able to be. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't quite get his motivations there, and if I'm thinking like if there's no consequences for like messing with the timeline and stuff, why not just have Izzy and the gang come onto the ship, which is the time machine, so they all go back in time together, and then they meet up with Alicia. You know what I mean?
That's a paradox, but
but it's like there's two Buzzes though. It's already a paradox, so it's like kind of makes no sense in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I think I'd have to watch it again and maybe pay a little more attention, see if they kind of, make it.
I have a feeling at the end of the day, it's just a kids movie, and like it doesn't need to answer all these complex questions and stuff. But it'd be nice if they did.
Yeah, we're looking a little too much into it.
Yeah,
but yeah, basically they defeat it. They get everything all squared away. Zurg doesn't die in the explosion when they detonate the ship. He ends up on Buzz's ship or whatever, and just.
Yeah, and a thing that I was kind of I forgot that completely about the coolest part of Buzz Lightyear is like his wings, where I'm thinking like, oh, we get the fucking action scene with his wings coming out, and like that was like an epic kind of like little scene that they did. I'm just like,
not today, Zurg. Oh, that was perfect. I see why Andy likes this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see like this movie inspiring kids to like want. A Buzz Lightyear action figure because like I had a Woody toy.
You had a Woody.
I had a Woody. Ha, so funny. But no, yeah, I had a Woody.
Stop saying it like that.
What? How else do you say? I had a Tom Hanks characters doll thing.
Say you had a Woody doll or something, or a Woody action figure.
I had a Woody.
Something like that. Oh my god. Okay, keep going. Just go.
No, that was it. I just. Yeah, so I think it's going to inspire kids to want lots of merchandise is going to be sold from this movie.
And I still hope there is a Woody's Roundup thing. That would be really
because like they've already shown that they can do it, and like I think Woody is like definitely more of the more interesting character. Like it's Buzz is like the cooler character, but I think Woody's the more interesting character, and that might just be because of Toy Story, like his arc in that. But like I don't know.
Oh my god! I just thought so. Buzz was a movie. Woody's Roundup was a TV show. Are they going to do a Disney Plus show with Woody?
Oh, that'd be cool.
It would make sense, right?
That would be really cool. Yeah.
If you're watching this, Disney executives, you got an idea here.
Yeah, you have an excuse to lower the budget too.
Yeah,
because you're so cheap.
Well, don't. Okay.
They did it with Obi-Wan. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god. You're still on this.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, it's a good movie. This movie was solid. I thought it did Buzz a justice, and they showed why this movie was so inspiring to Andy to want to get a Buzz action figure.
Yeah.
It did its job. Like a lot of nostalgia in there. All the lines. Zurg didn't expect it to be himself, but hey, it was a nice little twist they got in there. And
I mean, they could have gone anywhere because we don't really know much about Zurg anyway. We just know that he's the arch nemesis of Buzz Lightyear in the action figure line. So they could have done anything.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, this movie was basically a team up writing wise. The story was made by the guys who did Coco and Finding Dory. So
okay, Coco is good. Finding Dory, I think, is a little like going back to the bucket,
Yes,
but Pete Docter though,
he was just a producer on this movie, but he still was involved with this. He's leading Pixar at this point. I'm pretty sure he's really good. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean he made. I know he made Inside Out. He also make Soul?
I believe he did Soul as well. Yes.
Those are the two best Pixar movies I think I've seen. So
yeah, it was Pete Docter that did Soul. I almost said Coco. Jesus. Yeah. So, man, this was good. This was a good trip down memory lane. I think for me, it's a solid 84 to me. This movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. It's nothing like uber special, but it's just like it's a nice, fine movie. It does its job and it gets in and gets out, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's hour 40. It's pretty standard time for an animated Pixar movie.
Yeah, it tells a story, or it tells like a message that you'd expect to hear. It keeps your kids entertained. It does its job. It's perfectly fine.
Yep, and that's pretty much it. I think for Lightyear, right?
Yeah, I don't have too much on this movie.
All right, well, we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE It Beforecast, and on Twitter with the handle @SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find me on Instagram at Danny_Was, my letterbox at DJ Was, and my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was. And pay attention to the socials. We post teases on Fridays, and we post the actual episodes on Sundays. And so we were doing new releases on Fridays, but like as example with this one, we're going to be moving our teased potentially our new releases from Fridays to Sundays. That's what.
There's the easier way to say it.
That's it.
Yeah, I was going to take over for you there, but I'm like, oh, he'll get there. Yeah, so basically because this guy got a job finally again, so he's back on Monday through Friday, so we have no time to edit during the week anymore. So, well, you have no time.
I don't have any time to edit.
You don't have time to edit.
Yeah.
But yeah, pay attention to the socials, and we'll just do this again. But Danny, to infinity
and beyond.